We are live. What is going on, YouTube? The Flash. It hurts to watch right now. West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Don't choke, Cindy. Are you choking there?
No?
Okay. It seemed like you choked on a grape. Anyway, guys, today we are covering The Flash. Okay, season 7, episode 14. This is going to be your review, biggest takeaways, reaction. We went to a new format covering The Flash a day or two after it airs, just so that I have more time for Superman, just prioritizing because Superman and Lois is literally the best show on television right now. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, click the bell, and let's jump into it. Sid, why don't you give us an initial reaction? Also, stick
Of
around
course
till the
you.
end of the videos. We're going to give you some details on how you can win a pair of AirPods second generation. Here we go.
Of course you asked me to break it down right after I eat some cheese and crackers. Anyway, let me just shoot this out for
So this episode I will cover you. So this episode was nearly absent of Barry and Iris for the entire thing. And this just, I
Yeah.
mean, guys, this is my main issue. And you guys know that I've been frustrated with this show. And then they just do even more to frustrate me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as soon as honestly, and can we talk about last week's episode too, just really quickly? Because we didn't cover
No.
that either. Masquerade. That's the one with Barry and Cecile and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
awkwardness between.
Because it's
So it's like
trash.
we know that they're trying to write that Barry and Iris are trying to get pregnant. So their little weirdness that happened at the beginning of last week's episode, and then it kind of is continued in this episode, and Chester suggests that they go take a vacation, and so
Yep.
Barry and Iris are like, yeah, let's go take a vacation. So they pretty much go take a vacation to make babies. It's just like this is a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah. A
um
little is an understatement.
yeah,
I
so
mean,
they
they're making
weren't
the
in this
Flash about all these things that the Flash is not supposed to be about. I mean, I understand they people do. That's part of life. But at the same time, why do they feel the need to throw on TV all these things that nobody actually asked for? Did we want to see
yeah.
awkward love scenes? Did we want to see everyone but Barry and Iris? Like, no.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of weird too how they're focusing oh, we're trying to have a baby. And it's I get maybe because of COVID, they can't do that in more subtle ways. I don't know. It just seems like they're always
Well,
talking about the two of them having a baby.
yeah, well, you know what's so interesting, guys, about this episode? I don't know if you've noticed a different tone from my sister, but she was not happy with this episode either. And usually she's
Yeah.
singing the praises of the Flash and telling us, give it another chance. Also, guys, be sure to hit us up in the chat as well, because we can even bring in the chat for the show and answer some of your questions. Look at us getting all fancy and high tech. But yes,
Yeah.
so you weren't. I mean, let's talk about that because that's interesting. You were not happy with this episode. And you're
Yeah, I'm
frozen.
one of those
So
people. I love a good filler. How about am I good now?
yeah, you're good now.
Oh, I'm good now. Anyway,
Now you're
I
not.
love a good filler. Am I
You're
good
good now. Go ahead.
now? Okay, I
Yeah, go ahead.
love a good filler episode. I'm all for some quality filler episodes in between, lots of action for a TV show. That is definitely one of my favorite things about sci-fi is the boring filler episodes in the middle of, heightened, exciting stuff. But I think I have reached my maximum on tolerance for filler episodes. So far, this whole season of The Flash has been filler episodes. And to have two in a row back to back, I think it was just too much. We get it, Barry and Cecile have their little, weird, completely irrelevant bonding moment about Cecile being in a psych ward. Not to make, light of that, that's a thing, but, why do I care about Cecile's problems with that? You know what I'm saying? She's an extra,
Yeah,
she's a side character. And then in
yeah.
this
And I will
episode
say,
with,
real quick, what's up, Isaiah? I saw your chat there. We're doing well. I mean, the Flash doesn't seem to be doing too well, but we're just reacting to it now. But thanks for
yeah.
joining. Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, and then in this episode with Allegra and her cousin and completely irrelevant, once again, I don't care about your life, which sounds, sorry, I'm eating lunch and I'm drinking bubbly drink. But
Wow.
it's just what? Why are we
Yeah,
talking about
yeah. I think.
anything
Well,
relevant?
yeah. And you know what's so funny, Sid? It finally seems like you're coming to the light on the things that I've been saying, guys, since literally episode what? 1. I think episode 1 was horrible. Episode 2 was actually really interesting, or 3, and then it got back to being bad. Really never
Yeah.
picked up. These are the same things that I've been saying. We
Yeah.
came here for a superhero show. We want to
Yeah.
see action. We want to see some story and some real stakes, because remember, I'm never going to be mad at storyline and good storyline, because without stakes, it's just, you're punching and kicking and it never
Without
really does
stakes, it's
anything.
just a vegan barbecue.
Did you actually make that? No, you didn't, did you?
Okay, anyway.
Did you actually make that joke?
Yeah.
Wow, that wasn't bad for being on the spot.
Thank you. I'm clever.
Yeah, that's
sometimes.
awesome. Anyway, but guys, yeah, these are the things that I'm saying. Storylines are important for stakes, but other than stakes, as not the vegan barbecue kind or the non-vegan, you know what I mean. The show is just it's void of all the things that we came to see. And
Yeah.
I think, let's see, Isaiah saying it's kind of hard for me to put up with the Flash. It is hard to put up with the Flash right now,
Yeah,
especially when
it
you have
is.
shows like Superman and Lois. The Flash doesn't have as big a budget as Superman and Lois. I mean, you can see it right in just the way that it's filmed. It looks like Man of Steel. It's like a mini movie every single time. Fantastic show as far as action and stuff like that. But they're giving us what we came to see. And I think that's why it rings true for so many people, as where the Flash, fundamentally, they're not giving the fans what they came to see, which is action. And all
And
the
I
other
think
things are
this
good,
week-
but they have to be surrounding.
Yeah, I think this week was especially hard to sit through because it was void of everything that we like about the Flash. There was little to no action. There was little to no storyline that made any sense or had any stakes, any relevance to it. And Barry was not in the episode. He was there for
Yep.
like the first 3 minutes. But it's like they literally took out everything that is worth watching about the show and expect us to keep watching anyway.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a bad episode, but it was a bad filler episode too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It was another filler episode. And even Screen Rant acknowledges this in their article, their recap of the episode, saying, even this Godspeed storyline that the fans have been expecting to see and hoping to see, and like you've even mentioned, Sid, we've been holding on to for that hope, that's now going to be shortened because of the pandemic and because of a whole ton of other things that slowed down and stopped production. There were only 18 episodes this season. So really, we're looking at the last month of the show. It'll be over probably this time next month, 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And so the Godspeed thing is what, 4 episodes, 3 episodes, even if they don't get right to it next week.
Yeah, I really am hoping that they're gonna kick Godspeed into the next season, because remember, we also have Nora supposed to be coming, Bart supposed to be coming. Like, we have some characters that are worth seeing again or for the first time. And there's no way we're going to be able to handle all of that in the last 4 episodes. So I'm really hoping that.
Oh, you froze on us.
In the last 4 episodes. Can you hear now?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally
Oh,
agree.
you
But
can't hear me?
yeah, no, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm saying, yeah, I really do hope that they start something in these last 4 episodes and then just kick it into the next season, because this season was trash.
Yeah, it was absolute trash. But I will say, I'm glad you've come to this side, because this is something that we've known for weeks now, that this entire show and season has been trash. Not the entire show like previous seasons, but this entire season is hot garbage. And what I will say, and maybe a hot take, but I don't think it's that far out there of a prediction to make, next season may be the last season of The Flash. Based on the ratings this time, I can't imagine the actors and the fans wanting to go through even the potential of more than one more go-round. Because even if next season is phenomenal, you can't trust that the next season is going to be any good. So why not end it on a high note? I mean, you're looking at 8 seasons. That's a good run. I think Arrow had 10. So, I
thought Arrow only had
8. Maybe. I feel like it had 8 to 10 episodes, but regardless, it would have had just as good of a run. And we're really seeing that Greg Berlanti and his whole crew can't seem to do much more than 8 seasons of good superhero television. Is that a hot take? Maybe. Yeah. I don't think it's going to get any better in 8. Yeah. Arrowhead.
But I just wonder, I think that studios, fans, all of that, I'm hoping are going to give The Flash a break because of COVID. And so they're going to push it.
No. Oh,
Just think about it. Think about it.
Sydney.
Think about it. This season, right, sucked, right? It's bad.
Yes.
Okay. But if next
Yes.
season is really good, then they'll blame how bad this season was on the pandemic and say that it wasn't necessarily the writers, it was the situation.
Yeah, but Sid, who's gonna buy that? Honestly, here's the thing.
I would buy it. Well,
Listen,
I don't know.
No, writing love and everything into, because even getting into this episode more, the girl's powers were
Yeah.
literally opened up and it locked by love. What is the problem? What is this ultra love theme that we've
Yeah.
been getting here? I don't understand why they're not only not giving the fans what they want, but they're going in the opposite direction. They're giving us things that not only did we not ask for, but we probably didn't want. Like, who wanted this episode? Who was
No
begging
one.
for it? Exactly.
No.
And the other thing is that, you know, 8 seasons is it is a great run. It's a respected run. I mean, it's no Smallville, but it didn't maintain that
Smallville.
level of TV that we expected, maintained like Arrow did. Arrow had a couple bad seasons, but it picked it up.
Yeah.
The Flash has been bad for at least 2 seasons now. So
Yeah.
I don't see how much longer they can sustain this and who is even down for this. I'd like to see it end on a good note. Let's see. Isaiah said, I quit watching Supergirl and Legends. I am on the edge for the Flash. Honestly, real fans, they're cutting it real close. And I think one more good season would be fantastic. Isaiah, I have been watching Supergirl. It is much better than it has been. It's kind of doing an Arrow where it kind of they get back to basics a little bit more for that last season. There's John Jones and stuff, even though it did get a little stupid toward the end, but it was Melissa Benoist was pregnant and she was going through some stuff, you know, pregnancy wise with her family and stuff. So they did have some episodes without her in it, but you understood there was actually a reason. But the Flash, there's no excuse here. There's no excuse.
Yeah, I don't know why Grant Gustin and Candace Patton weren't in this episode. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't get it.
And that's what I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to add more characters and make us care about them.
Yeah.
And we don't care about them. We care about Barry, Iris, Wells,
Joe.
Cisco, Caitlin, Joe, and that's kind of it. Cecile will add in. But the Chester P. Runk and Allegra and these people, and I understand you got to keep it fresh. You got to change. Yeah, you got to change up the characters every once in a while. But ultimately, it's like, okay, add them in. Don't swap them for the characters we do like.
Yeah, and you know, but I wonder, you know, Allegra came in right after Stretchy Man Ralph left, and we know that he left because of some personal things that happened on the internet. So I wonder if Allegra was just kind of a fix for that, because on some levels I feel like I cared about Ralph even a little bit more than I care about Allegra. Like, and I like Chester, but you know, they all just seem like fluff characters. Sue, this, you know,
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit.
and she did not like her. You know, I felt like they're really, really quirky and whatnot, but she's just not likable. She doesn't seem as genuine and as grounded and as real as the other characters in the show are.
So. Yeah, and I do want to give her some grace because she hasn't been on the show that much.
Yeah.
So she hasn't had as many episodes and time to kind of have those character moments that endear the fans to her. I do think
like they're pushing her.
Yeah, I think the whole thing feels forced and pushed. Like, honestly, the whole thing, the storylines, okay, the action scenes, even like you said, they said in this episode, we want it to be more like Barry and talk down the villain. Like I've been saying, literally since the beginning of the season, Barry is not fighting, and he's a fighting superhero. He's not the love. He's not the negotiation. He's the Flash.
He is the paragon of love, Christopher. Let's not forget.
Another ridiculous storyline. Oh my God. And the more you... I get so angry because, and here's the thing, Sid, it's not that I'm angry that the show sucks, right? Right now, it absolutely is horrible.
Yeah.
It's that we know what it can be. We've seen the Reverse Flash and Eobard Thawne. I mean, well, the same thing. And Zoom. You know what I'm saying? These villains who literally
and just
were nightmare fuel.
That really got you. Storylines,
and they still had love in it.
They still had love. I mean, that is a theme for the Flash for sure. Family and love, like that's a thing even in the comic books. But I feel like this show is really like overdoing
Yeah.
it, you know? Like
Yeah.
you can love someone and still punch a bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. And what
it's
happens?
not.
Why do we have to convert all the bad guys to being good? I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing. You can get realistic and say, well, listen, if all the stuff these heroes are doing is just punching bad guys, putting them into jail, only to be broken out like a Batman Joker type scenario, how realistic is that? And can you really sustain that? But I'll tell you what, converting them all to loving superheroes, you're not going to have anybody to fight. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
and superheroes have gotten away with that for generations. Yes, the same villains come back for the most part. They're classics. People like to see the stories. They like to see the heroes pushed beyond what they've
They
been
like to
to
see the
before.
action.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Get back to what made the comic book sell. Action. Okay?
Yeah.
They're little boys and little girls reading these books. They don't care about the paragon of love. Like, that's great and all. But can we be real? This is not what people came to see. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You got to get, it's the same thing with Snydercut. I've said this many times on many of episodes. It's the same thing with Captain Marvel, which was not well received, is when
Yeah.
any company tries to force anything on people, especially in the United States, people tend to have a bad reaction to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there she
I think
is.
you said it. Yeah, that's all there is. She was powered by family. She thought about her cousin, and that saved the day. It was just such a boring episode. It was so hard to watch, and honestly, it's making me miss the old Flash. Like I really am thinking about rewatching season 1, 2, and even 3. It started sucking after 3, but I would push to 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Yeah, that would be great to watch. Yeah, Isaiah, I think it would be great to see a season just with the rogues. I miss Captain Cold. Did he die? I think he died
No,
in the show.
no. So, and that's another thing, and we've been getting a couple of comments. So, yes, a much better show than The Flash right now. Legends of Tomorrow, which I never really liked, just premiered. It's coming out. It's out now, and the first episode is out. So we might jump onto that a little bit. Maybe me and Sid will cover episodes here and there. Certainly, as The Flash begins to end,
Yeah,
that might be a nice segue to keep up with some of the villains and some of the other characters, even from Arrow, some oldies but goodies. Hopefully the storyline's doing much better because for some reason Legends has a cult following and it's still going strong.
yeah. It blows my mind because the first 2 episodes of Legends that I watched were awful, and I never watched them again. But maybe it just took a minute to like start up.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go back and watch it.
And you know what, I'll tell you what, and our uncle who our late uncle who inspired this kind of whole channel, he was in love with the Legends show.
Yeah, he
So
loved
there's,
that show.
and we could never really get it. It's like, it's okay, but it's a bunch of B-list characters. But right now, the Flash, how is it any better, folks? How is it any better? They just
Yeah.
took Barry and the Flash out, and for the most part, Barry's not doing anything all this season. So it's basically a B-list character show anyway. I'd rather go to Legends. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd rather see Canary. Canary was a beast. I liked her as a character. And all the other, even Brendan Rouse, Adam. Characters like that, I think they're good. And so I'd rather watch that, honestly.
I think
right now.
Constantine is on there now too. Watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these are at least characters who are probably doing something. And the thing is, they're all B-list characters, so they're all equal, and they're all going to get some use every episode or every couple of episodes. So I think that the Flash is really, I don't know what Berlanti is thinking. I don't know, but this show has just been hard to watch. It is season 3 or 4 episodes in season 5 for Legends. Oh yeah, it's 3 or 4. It's not worth it. Legends is very bad. Oh, Legends is very bad right now. See, what is happening with the Arrowverse?
It's just the decline of DC.
Yeah,
they're
if I
about
were
to
to
release a new round of superhero TV shows, and I think they're probably like, okay, it's time to back out.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the direction that they're heading is not working. I mean, look at Batwoman about to get canceled too. It's on the verge of being canceled every season.
You know what's so unfortunate about Batwoman? It was bad, right? Like, it was bad. Nobody really cared. Nobody was really that interested. And then they thought changing Batwoman to a black female was going to make the bad writing better. And I'm like, do you think people are stupid? We want good stories. Like, it's not just about that,
Yeah, don't just throw black characters at us and be like, oh, so now you'll come and watch. Like if the story sucks, like, and I mean, not to get in that route, but like, how, like, what do you think of fans? If you think you can just throw these characters around like they're nothing, I mean, look at
Mm-hmm.
what's happening just with the different swapping of characters, changing of characters, like they don't have 50-year histories, like they're not
Yeah.
icons of the last 75 years. That gets me hot because these companies, they have no regard for fandom. They have no regard for
Yeah.
history and all those different things that made these heroes great. There are amazing black, white, Spanish, and Asian characters in the whole superhero world in both DC and Marvel, and there are more coming out all the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you disrespect these characters and do different things to them that the fans kind of never asked for, and then try and shove it down their throats, and without good storylines, like with Batwoman, people are, like I said, people tend to react badly. Now, a couple of points that I wanted to make real quick is, we talk about the direction that DC and the Arrowverse is going. A lot of this is Snydercut as well. Some of those same elements are there too, Sid. But
Well, it's still DC, so.
yeah, exactly. But as we look at the end of the Arrowverse as we know it, with shows like Flash kind of getting up there in age, even Legends kind of getting toward the end of its run, Supergirl is in its last season. We have two options. Oh, Titans is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
They are worth watching. And even Doom Patrol, excellent shows. HBO
I
and
agree.
DC, what they're doing over there is fantastic. Isaiah, we're going to talk about that comment, but real quick, just to finish this comment, I feel like we're at a fork in the road. We can either go the way of Superman and Lois, or we can go the way of Batwoman, honestly.
I agree.
And we can go down, just all this different kind of storylines and great action and stuff like we have with Superman and Lois, or we can go the way of the companies giving fans nothing that they ask for.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's nothing more to say for that. I agree.
Yeah. What do you feel about what Isaiah just said? Because Titans is fantastic.
Oh, I love Titans. I think Titans is phenomenal. I wonder if it's not going to get the attention that it deserves because it was on the DC app. Now it's shifting to HBO Max. Like, I'm hoping that they can cut. They haven't been able to garner a fan base and sit with it for a long time. But I'm hoping that changes with season 3. I hope it gets picked up and keeps going.
Yeah, I think Titans is going to keep going. I think it's going to get at least 5 seasons. Even if this season sucks, it'll get 5 seasons. And number one is because even with it being on the DC Universe app, which didn't fare well, it was a hit. People loved the show who watched the show. Now, DC Universe wasn't able to bring a ton of subscribers and viewers in. They don't have that problem with HBO Max. HBO Max is one of the top streaming platforms. So introducing a hit show to an even bigger audience. And remember, some people just didn't want to pay the extra money for DC, like just DC content. But with HBO, this show is a hit. It is dark like we want it. The storylines are good like we want it. It is edgy like we want it to be, in a way that HBO Max and DC Universe could get away with, that CW just can't in terms of tone. So I look forward to Titans and even Doom Patrol. Honestly, they're both better. Swamp Thing is probably better.
I didn't finish Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Swamp Thing, because there was some things that happened with Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing had a budgetary problem. They had spent a lot of money. They were thinking that Warner or one of the other companies was going to split the cost of production.
Right.
And that didn't happen, so it fell through. But Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing probably would have gotten 2 seasons too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that might be what is starting to happen with CW as a whole too, because you've got some of their darker, grittier shows going to HBO Max, like Titans, like even Gossip Girl. You can tell some of these shows that that are CW kind of aimed, but they want to be darker, they want to be grittier. They're ending up on HBO, and I think that will be for the best. And I hope they do that with more DC stuff. I mean, we've got the Green Lantern potentially out there.
Big time. Sid, have you been watching Superman and Lois?
No, I haven't, so I don't know.
My girl, the Green Lantern, in the next episode. John Diggle will be in the next episode of Superman. Yeah.
As Green, he'll be in the next episode of Superman. Oh my God!
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Sid, I'm telling you, it's one of the best shows that you haven't, and I know because we both cover different shows. Yeah, Diggle's a beast. Sorry for the police sirens. I've got the window open. Fresh air, y'all. But to answer Isaiah's question, did we see the Titan season 3 trailer? Absolutely, and it looks
Yes.
phenomenal. It's got Killing
Looks
Joke
great.
written all over it, and we did a reaction to it. So that's actually we'll put the link to that in the description because I reacted to that as well as Sasha Cal, the new Supergirl, her new Supergirl suit. I always say Supergirl shoot.
Supergirl suit.
Yeah. Let's see. Superman and Lois is so good. How come you haven't watched it, Sid?
I know. Honestly, we cover so many shows on here that some just slip through the crack. And if Christopher's watching it, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm watching it too, but like not really.
Yeah, it's the best show. It's the best superhero show on TV right now. And it is probably it's definitely the best DC TV show right now. I think it rivals Titans. And with all this craziness, I would love to see, because remember, Superman hasn't been introduced, guys, in Titans yet. Batman has, but not Superman. So depending on how Superman and Lois goes, would you guys be down to see Tyler Hoechlin's Superman show up in Titans? I would be down for it.
Yeah,
he's done a great job. He's done a pretty good job. Yeah, he would fit that universe. Yeah. So, guys, just the state of DC right now is wild and turbulent. The Flash is not doing well. It's really bad. It's been really bad. Legends seems to be no better from what we've been hearing. Superman is our life raft right now. Yeah. So, with that being said, I thought you had something to say. I wouldn't have paused.
No.
Okay, guys, so thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We've kind of just done a chill kind of reaction to the episode, talking more about the themes and the problems with the episode 14 of the Flash season 7. So of course we'll continue the chat. Hit us up in the comments with your thoughts on this as well, on this episode, as well as the entire Flash season and even the DCU. We're always covering your favorite Marvel, DC, superhero TV shows and the like. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell, guys, so you get a notification on your phone when we drop new videos. Sid's covering The Bachelorette for you.
Oh yeah, I'm just covering it. I'm watch it. It's fun, just a break from superhero intenseness. If you need that, it's there, I'm also covering Gossip Girl, and I'm also covering some other show on HBO Max that's coming up soon. I think it's called White Tulips.
I mean, honestly, guys, neither of those shows are my personal cup of tea, but that's why it's West Coast, East Coast siblings. So we get a variety of different things. Sorry for the motorcycle.
I don't even hear it.
Oh, anyway. So we're covering that. And obviously I'm covering Superman and Lois as well as Supergirl when that comes back. When what's the name comes back, The Nevers on HBO Max, fantastic show.
Oh yeah.
Be sure to check that out.
We've also got a lot of movies coming out this summer that we'll be covering.
Oh, yes. Yeah, real quick before we end it, Isaiah, fantastic show.
Yes.
I agree, probably the best superhero show this year. Well, you see, because The Boys is still coming out. Some things are still
The Boys is going to be
phenomenal. So, I want to hold saying that for me personally. But yes, I've seen the first couple of episodes of Invincible. Finally got a chance to watch it. I'll probably do a season recap reaction after I finish the whole season. I won't do it episodically. But yes. Absolutely. Nevers is fantastic. Invincible is fantastic. Right now, could we say this might end up being the year of non-DC and Marvel superheroes coming to light?
At least for TV, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of money for a box office, but people do seem to enjoy the shows. Yeah. So thanks, Isaiah, for hanging out with us. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Be sure you know what to do. Oh, I told you we'd be giving away a pair of AirPods here. These are AirPods 2, and we're going to do a little race. As you guys know, our sister channel is the Lotta Quente Ledger, and we're going to do a race to 10,000 subs. The first channel to get 10,000 subs, we are going to pick a subscriber from the channel, and they're going to get a free pair of AirPods 2. So that's going to be fun. And so the best way to get one of these is to subscribe, obviously, but then to get other people to subscribe. So the faster you get there, and really the best way to increase your chances, you can get 2 entries if you subscribe to both channels and get people to subscribe, because the faster we hit that 10,000 mark, the faster you're going to get your hands on a pair of Apple AirPods. I've got a pair. They're fantastic. They're fun. So yeah, with that being said, We've talked a lot. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. She's Sid.
I'm
Chris.
That's
Most of the
Chris.
time.
Hopefully,
And
all
we'll
of the
see you
time.
in the hopefully most of the time. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Once I figure out the end stream button.